Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got a treat. It's a sound system demo of the 2020 Lincoln Navigator and the 20-speaker Revel Ultima sound system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the sound system works, take a look at speaker locations, listen to some sample tracks, get out on the road, listen to those tracks while we're rolling. I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at the car. This is the creme de la creme of what Lincoln has to offer. The Navigator Black Label. $100,000 of luxury refinement in a big 7-seater package. Now you guys have heard this a bunch, but if you like what you see here, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a bunch. Even if you're only in it for the sound tests or you're only in it for a few vehicles, it really helps us out to have that number tick up a little bit. Check out our other Navigator content as well if you do want to see more. We've got a full review as well as a highway fuel economy test. So we always do these tests with uncompressed, lossless WAV audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do so with the factory default audio settings, so let's take a look at those now. The Navigator, you've got treble, mid-range, bass, as well as your standard front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance. You also have speed compensated volume control, adjustable 3 different ways, and Quantum Logic surround. So you've got off, on stage, and audience. Now I have them all reset and it resets to audience, so we'll start the test that way, but we'll cycle through a few of those other options now and then go back. So here's audience, on stage, sort of makes sound a little bit more in front of me, and then off. Sounds a little bit flatter, but also a little bit more realistic. Now, treble. Mid-range. And bass. Would have expected a little bit more drastic adjustment from those, but it is what it is. For audio inputs in the Navigator, you've got your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. You also have Bluetooth with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, and USB-A and USB-C. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, you don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and you also don't have a disc player. A little disappointing to be missing both of those, especially in a vehicle this large. It's kind of surprising they couldn't have just slid a disc player up in the glove box or up in this neck of the woods or something, but it is what it is. For audio controls, you have a big, nice volume knob right here with good detents. You also have volume buttons, a little rocker it's nice to use on the steering wheel. For track selection, you've got back and forth right next to the volume on the steering wheel. You've also got your touchscreen buttons and a tuning knob right here, and back and forth right there. So plenty of ways to adjust tracks. You could even go into browse if you're using a device like this, USB stick, and click around that way. The frustrating thing is when you're moving, it actually locks you out from most of this browse screen. We'll go over that a little bit more on the highway. This is, at the end of the day, just a reskin version of Ford's Sync 3, so it works decently well. Not the most responsive system, but also not the slowest, and it's a little simple for $100,000, but it gets the job done. Speaker locations in the 20-speaker Navigator Revel Ultima system. Little hidden, but we'll go through them now. Starting in the driver door, you have 1, 2 down here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up in the center, 8, 9, 10, 11 there, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, no wait, sorry. Where were we? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then, it's actually going to be best to go into the back. Back in the third row, you've got 18, 19 on the D pillars, and then a big old subwoofer back here. 10-inch subwoofer pumping the bass. It's actually right there. You can feel it. So, pretty holistic experience. We'll actually hop into the back seat from here and do a little demonstration of sound from the rear. You have audio controls, which is nice. You got volume and media. I notice a lot less bass back here. Still sounds pretty good though. Let's actually go to the track we were just listening to, this Chill Stop. Let's hear how the bass comes in. I can hear the bass a little better now. I can kind of actually feel it in my seat, which is pretty cool. Actually pretty well mixed from the back seat. I'm satisfied. Definitely feel these are some mid-range woofers in the driver door. You can really feel those thumping away. All right, let's get on the road. Once we get up to the highway, I will switch over to the on-stage mode for the surround system. Downside to having the touch screen. It's not as easy to use while you're driving as rotary. Highway speed, turn the volume down, let you hear what the Navigator sounds like at 70. This is a bit of a louder section of highway, but overall, with all my driving with this truck, I have been a little bit disappointed with road noise, and that might be attributed to these extra large tires. Let's head on over to a new song. But I will say that road noise does contribute to the vehicle the audio quality not being quite as good as in some of its rivals because there's more sound intruding. familiar viewers of our channel, you'll know this next song can really stress the limits of an audio system. So let's hear how the Revel Ultima handles it. Overall, I'd say it does pretty well. It's not the crispest I've ever heard, but there's a good amount of power coming through. All the sounds kind of have their own spots, their own channels. It's definitely not muddy. It's pretty darn good. For this song, let's turn the bass all the way up, see how the 10-inch subwoofer can handle it. Necessarily the most powerful bass I've heard in a car. But what I do appreciate is that there's no rattling whatsoever. We are getting some mirror shakeage, but it definitely sounds like a clean, crisp bass rather than just smacking and sounding obnoxious. So, pretty good, but if you really wanted heavy bass, you would be swapping out that subwoofer. Up my final thoughts on the Revel audio system here in the 2020 Lincoln Navigator. Understandably, it's quite good. You throw 20 speakers in, and most of the time, you come up with a pretty good result. But this system has plenty of power. We don't know the exact wattage, but we know the MKZ system is about 1200 watts, so this one's probably not too far off of that. It works well. It sounds good in just about all situations. Is it the best I've heard? The answer is no. It's not quite as powerful or as pure as some of the systems from Mercedes-Benz and Lexus and Volvo, but it's right up there. Objectively speaking, for sound quality, we're talking about a 9. It's really quite good. The things that bring it down are the fact that there's a good amount of road noise intrusion on the highway and the lack of disc player or auxiliary input and just kind of the clunkiness of the system sometimes. Subjectively speaking, for this price in a large, expensive luxury SUV, I'm gonna give it about an 8.5. I mean, you are spending 6 figures. You should expect something pretty good. And there are other systems that can just do better at less money. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you want to see more, check out our links in the description and hit that subscribe button. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and we'll see you on the next one. And as always, drive on.